Hey, how's it going? And today we're going to be talking about the top 5 most underrated units in Grandcross. Yes, sir. This is a very interesting way to go about things because I'm not talking about PvP as itself. I'm talking about Grandcross as a whole. But these units will have some PvP pointers here and there. But yeah, that's not really the point I'm trying to make here. But that is what we're going to do today. So be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Who do you think is an underrated unit in Grandcross? And we can talk about it in the comments. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and start the video. Starting off with number 5. And no, this is not in any particular order. This is just how I'm doing it as a whole right now. But starting off, we got Christmas Valenti. She is a severely underrated unit. And there's a few reasons for this. Mainly PvP, right? Because in PvE, her kit is not really usable because she doesn't really have a PvP or PvE centered kit. Her passive works in the front, you know what it is. Decreases the crit damage of enemies by 75% of the crit hero's defense. Now, I built my Valenti with HP crit defense, and so she has a total of 136% crit defense. 75% of that is 102, so I am lowering the enemy's crit damage by 102%. That's pretty good. Her passive is working. Her cards have a rank 2 freeze, and she has a rank 2 attack disable. Now, the consensus with this character is that characters with rank 2 skills are not very good in this game. It can be very annoying to work for that skill, you know, because rank 2 skills aren't the easiest thing to come by. But that's not really the case when it comes to this team specifically. And I get that it is a very good argument to have with this Valenti because relying on rank 2 skills is just not good. It's not mandatory, and if you have to rely on rank 2 skills, then the purpose of actually getting good skills don't exist. So like with this character, you're just kind of screwed because you're not guaranteed to get those rank 2 skills. So people would eventually put Christmas Valenti in the unusable, she's dog shit, she's trash category. And I can understand that, to be completely honest. But this is where, like, my opinion comes in. I would think that she's underrated because things like this would make her, like, super annoying to face in real games. It's really good in real games. Like, granted, right? Again, you can need a certain type of combo to make her work thoroughly. But if you can get her to get her passives off, it's really good. And on top of that, her passive works really well on crit-based enemies. Now you see that, right? Zeldris, okay, let's keep going, right? This is Esterosa. His normal attacks hit for 13.5, and that crit just hit me for 13.2. 6k. He didn't crit me there, but unfortunate. But literally, his crits do as much damage as his normal skills. So it's basically as if he doesn't crit me at all in that scenario. So we can do this, we can freeze the Zeldris, and then we can probably kill the Esterosa. Okay, never mind. Valenti's just gonna kill the Zeldris. But yeah, like, I feel like she's underrated. She really is. And with this team comp specifically, yes, I will be making a video about this team comp because I genuinely think it's actually kind of worth trying out for a video. It's really good. Now the problem becomes, does she go for my Valenti? Yes, he does. Now, yeah, there is a few things wrong with her. She's not the most tankiest character ever. So she will have her downs and deaths in terms of all of these more recent characters because she's Christmas. She came out like more than 6 months ago. So she's kind of outdated at this point. But it still doesn't change the fact that she has a good kit. And that's all I really want to get across with this character. And you should probably try her out for one time, maybe 2, you know? For fun, for gimmicks. She's not bad, she's not. Now next up on the list at number 4, we have Green Ludociel. This man is severely underrated. I'm going to tell you a few reasons why. And they're not really for PvP reasons per se, more or less PvE. But let's go ahead and get into it. His kit, we can start off with this. He has a very good kit, like per his character, right? Increased goddess allies attack related stats by 7%, and then he also increases his own damage dealt by 15% for each goddess on the field, which caps out at 45%. So he will be doing 45% more damage as long as you have a goddess team, which, you know, goddess characters need to have a goddess team to work, otherwise they're not really like synergized well. He has a pierce single target that hits really hard. He has goddess list shield, which is, you know, it works in cases, okay? It does. And his ultimate is pretty bad. I will give you that. Like, the ultimate's not that worth it, but it is an ultimate nonetheless, and it can help out in tough situations. Now, here's the thing with Ludociel. So now Ludociel, what the hell? Ludociel is like a very okay PvP unit, but his art of shining is mainly, if I want to be honest, in PvE. Ludociel works really well in PvE, and that's because of his Pierce card. The Pierce card really does like help him immensely for the goddess team that is for Needhog. If you want to use the goddess team, Ludociel was a pretty good unit to use instead of Margaret. But since Margaret is more viable for Needhog, and they nerfed it so you don't actually need Pierce cards, he's not mandatory as he used to be, but he is still a very solid unit for that content specifically. Now, if you wanted to go against a PvP standpoint, I will be completely honest and say like he's not very useful in PvP because of the fact that he's competing with Margaret, which is just an infinitely better unit. She has cleanse, she has a really good AoE, her Holy Relic is a good buffer for her team. Like, the Margaret is really good. So what does this Ludociel bring to the table? He has a shield, that's neat, like it's not crazy, but it's there. He has a Pierce card that, again, with his 45% damage increase, it does a lot of work. I'm gonna be completely honest there. It does do some numbers when you build him with attack crit, even though you don't really want to because his CC is not that high. But if you want to see him do numbers, attack crit is the way. His cards don't crit that often, but they do hit for pretty hard basic stat numbers. So like, I can just, you know, play this game out and we'll see. We do this, we do that to kill the bond so we can get some attack stats back, and then I'm pretty sure this kills whoever targets for the most part. Yeah, it kills melee. My L is going crazy. Oh yeah, and also he gives this goddess allies 7% attack related stats. So that's also a slight increase of damage for all your goddess characters. Like 117k with no crits from a Ludociel that is an outdated character like this, it's pretty good. Because if you were to put blue Ludociel in his shoes, he's not hitting those numbers unless he crits, for the most part. Other than that, he's kind of like really cucking himself. But yeah, like that's pretty much all there is to say about green Ludociel. He is severely underrated. Do I recommend trying him? Not to the truest extent, but he is definitely viable for PvE. And like Grey Demon and stuff like that, you can use him for there too. His shield gets removed, but his Pierce card does do a lot of work for Grey Demon. So I would recommend trying him out at least one time and, you know, have fun. Why not? Because this game is very much do what you want. You don't have to follow the meta. You know, you can just play around a little bit. So yeah, green Ludociel, underrated. Next up. So at number 3 we have Demon Origin Fragment Chandler. He is so underrated. It's almost hilarious. And I understand why he's underrated. It's because his counterpart Cusack is just a much better unit for the Demon team than Chandler. Because Cusack lowers your stats, or lowers your crit chance and crit damage of the enemies. He doesn't lower stats. Instead, what he does is give you 40% pierce rate. He also gives you 30% damage dealt increase depending on the debuffs on the team, and that's pretty much it. But the kicker about this Chandler that makes him actually pretty good is the pierce rate, because there are units such as Traitor Meliodas that has a triple pierce rate card, and Purgatory Meliodas has a double pierce rate on his AoE Frenzy card. It's actually helping him out severely when you go for AoEs and you get 40% pierce rate. And depending on the debuffs on the field, you do 10, 20, or 30% more damage to that enemy. It's really decent. So like, it makes sense for him to be good, but people just underplay him so badly, it's honestly hilarious. So for this instance, I'm gonna use the Purgatory Meliodas variant, because I haven't actually tried Purgatory Meliodas with Chandler. But I know for a fact he makes Trader Meliodas on the demon team extremely better because his AoE just hits that much harder. But we're going to do this, right? We're going to get the Zeldris because we have Green, Sariel, and Zeldris, so they're all going to have 2 debuffs. And then we're going to AoE with Melee. And 9 times out of 10, I do some solid damage for rank 1 with no actual genuine stacks. Like, 300k on a rank 1 without True Darkness is pretty good. That's coming from, I'm getting 20% to 30% more damage from Chandler, and I'm getting 40% more pierce rate for that pierce card to technically do 80% more damage, if you want to go by the numbers. But it's not exactly like that, but it's close enough to make you think that's a solid increase on that AoE that usually only pops off if you have a True Magic. It makes a lot of sense when you think about it. So like now we have True Magic, I'm going to AoE again, but first I'm going to get some more debuffs out there via Zeldris. So let's see, like he has 2 debuffs, he has 2, he has 1. So I'm going to go for the Escanor, and then I AoE, and then I just pretty much kill. Like they already have low HP, so it makes, wait, what happened? My Zeldris card didn't go out. Like they already have low HP, so of course I win, but it's the fact that I'm getting all those debuffs, and it's going to help him do more damage. 800k. That's with the True Magic that gives you 50% attack related stats. So technically speaking, if you want to do like hard headcanon math, I was supposed to be doing like 600k in that instance. 600 to 700, but I ended up doing 800 because I'm getting 30% damage increase, 40% pierce from Chandler. And that's why Chandler's underrated, because he's actually a solid backline unit. But people just underplay him, and they do. It is what it is, though. Cusack is his competitor, and to be fair, Cusack does better. But if you don't have Cusack, and you just so happen to have Demon Chandler, it's not the end of the world. That's pretty much what this all comes down to. So now at number 2, we have little junior Tristan, okay? 10 years old. This man is in the cut going crazy. He is underrated, if not like the most underrated character in the game, and it's honestly hilarious. People play him dirty so bad because he is an unknown unit. I kind of forgot what I was saying. I got an incoming call during that. I don't remember what I was saying, but we're gonna start off with here. Tristan, passive. He is unknown, right? So he doesn't account for his own passive, but his passive is as follows. He gives demon allies 3% attack related stats per demon, maxed out to 9, and then he gives goddess allies defense related stats of 15, caps out at 45. Because yes, 45% defense related stats is so good, it's not even funny. But people underestimate this passive so badly just because Nanashi exists. I get it, bro. Nanashi's cool, but Nanashi doesn't have CC, bro. His CC is not that high. It really isn't. 61k CC on my Tristan. He has HP defense. It's not maxed out gear or anything, but it's close enough, right? 61k CC is really good. Like, you want to know something crazy, right? Tristan's combat class rating on the actual website that shows you the highest CC characters, he's ranked 18 in the game. You want to know what Nanashi is? 59. You are not out CCing no demon teams that are actually built, no Sins teams that are actually built, or anything like that. If you're running a goddess team with Nanashi, bro, his CC is non-existent. 59? That's insane. But guess what? Tristan's at 18, and he doesn't even have a Holy Relic yet. Once he gets a Holy Relic, y'all gonna switch up, I'm telling you. Underrated character for real. So let's go ahead and, I don't even think I need to show gameplay. We already know how goddess teams work. I'm just like, bro, Tristan is so underrated. It's not fair to this kid, bro. It's not. People love Nanashi, and I get it. His kit's cool. His Holy Relic's cool. But he doesn't work on goddess teams. He doesn't give the goddess teams 30% stats like he does with the unknown team, because that's how his Holy Relic works. All he does is give them a little bit of crit defense, HP, and if you attack them, your ult gauge is lowered. Yeah, that part is the make or break of Nanashi. Lowering ult gauge for free is really good, but 45% defense related stats is crazy. You're gonna get hit for so little damage. You might as well say you're getting hit for patience. But I'm not gonna play. I don't want to play a game with him. Y'all already know how Tristan works. He's relatively new, so we're gonna let that slide. And last but not least, one of the, if not the most underrated character in the entire game, Naofumi from Shield Hero. This man is so underrated, bro. Just because he scales by defense-related stats, it's crazy. Like, you know how many people don't think that he's meta anymore after his release? Like, when he came out, he was pretty good. He was dominating PvP, like, in a crazy way. But no one actually pulled for him. So no one actually used him other than, like, spenders, right? Like, Shield Hero, as an anime, doesn't have the best reputation right now in terms of Season 2's performance. But, bro, for people to say this character's underrated is insane to me. And it's funny because he's not. He's actually still meta. He can delete pretty much every meta team that's in the game right now. Bond, guess what? Naofumi doesn't scale with attack related stats, so all those debuffs will not affect him. Demon team, he can pretty much nuke demon teams for free. Like that's not even a question. Well, I don't know what the fuck this team is. I'm gonna be honest with you. This team does not exist. But like, bro, it's a solid team we got running here. And for people to call it trash is the funniest thing in the world. So we're gonna go to crit chance and then Roxy in, so we can get those guaranteed crits, aka the Roxy passive will proc. Uh-oh, wait, hold on. I don't know what's happening with my audio. I don't hear the attacks. Did my game break? I think my game broke. Hold on, let me let this go through. Alright, we're just gonna have to not use that the rest of this thing, because I don't know what the hell just happened with my mic. So we're just gonna go ahead and let this slide. I want to get them to attack now for me, but they're being pussy. Let me turn my audio up. There we go. Like, they're all gonna die to Roxy, bro. They're not even trying to attack now for me. But now for me is a demon, so I understand why they wouldn't. Like, people play him so dirty, bro. It's not fair to him. Look at this man. I mean, to be fair, this is a pretty shit team, but this would happen in most scenarios. He would just severely tank, and then he would just wipe, because he has abilities to do that. Stances up, give himself some stats, including his team, and then he just kind of kills. 246 is really good. It could be better if they had 3 people, and I actually had stacks to the point they were attacking my Naofumi, but that's pretty much the point. The point is, Naofumi should be used more often. He really should, especially in geared. Ungeared, I understand it. Defense-related characters in geared or ungeared is not the best thing ever, but he is such a demon, it doesn't matter. People play him so disgusting, it's funny. But that's pretty much the moral of the story. 5 underrated characters in my opinion. Again, this is all opinion based, so if you don't agree with my opinions, then I'm sorry to tell you, that's on you. But tell me who you think would be underrated in today's meta for 7 Deadly Sins Grandcross, and leave it in the comments. But don't be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, you know, that stupid shit. And I will see y'all in the next video. That's pretty much how we're gonna wrap this up. So yeah, have a wonderful day. Peace.